Hey guys, welcome to the Two Dogs Podcast. I'm Dr. Ingky.
I'm Dr. Ali here. So we run this podcast every week. This is 103.
103.
103. And basically two doctors. We talk about anything. Any kind of topics. Generally, but we try to avoid
the medical ones. Because it
gets
gets very boring.
boring
every day talk medical stuff, right?
Correct.
It gets really, really boring. All right.
Well, this week we are going to be talking about working from home.
Yeah, I would say it's the end of working from home.
End of working from home.
So I saw this article in the papers, in Malaysian papers. It was by the Malaysian Employers Association.
Okay.
Yeah, and they were saying that, hey, if your staffs, your employees do not want to come back to work physically, you can cut their salary.
Wow, really?
Yes, exactly.
Really?
So this is actually an initiative to force employees back to office.
But this is so counter-progressive
Yes, it's supposed
compared to the last 2 years.
Yes.
Whereby everyone was saying, oh, this is the new norm.
The new norm.
The new norm.
Working from home is the
Imagine
new
all
norm.
the new words we came out with, right?
Yes,
Pivot
yes.
and new norm.
Yeah. So people are saying, hey, maybe this is the end of offices. We do not actually need to even go back to an office anymore.
Yes, and then,
with all the stuff like Zoom,
correct,
and all the like Microsoft Teams and stuff like that, there's no need to actually go back to a physical office.
Plus, offices can cut down on rent, cut down on parking,
yes,
travel.
That is right.
And it was moving very well.
It was moving very well until, of course, the COVID rate started to drop.
Correct. Borders reopened.
Yes, borders reopened.
Travels reopened.
And I realized that, hey, there's more and more traffic on the road. Means that there's actually more and more people going back to office.
Does that mean more and more non-essential people back to work?
Yes.
Because remember last time they said only essential people must go, all right? Then even the office is like only 1/3 essential people can go.
Yes, correct.
That time still no jam.
Yeah, this time still not much traffic. But now, so yesterday itself, right, when I exited my home, right, usually it takes roughly about 40 minutes for me to drop my kids off at their school, right?
Okay, 40 minutes.
30 minutes inclusive of traffic.
30 minutes.
30 minutes including traffic. But yesterday it took me 45 minutes, extra 50% longer to get me to drop my kids at school. All right. And then, no joke, on the way back, it's even worse. All right. It took me an hour. So this goes to show that a lot more and more people are actually going back to office.
Correct.
All right. So, but why do you think it is? We have worked perfectly from home for the past 2 years. And why is it that employers want us back in the office?
Well, I think, personally, I think it's a nation thing.
Okay?
It's a nation thing.
No, but
it's an Asian thing.
No, but
because if you're from the Angmo countries, right? If you're from those like if you're from America, you're from Europe, work from home is a norm. Yeah. Really, it's a norm.
But
people scale down so that they can cut costs and be more efficient.
That is true. True. So I think if not mistaken, Airbnb said that they allow their employees to work from home permanently.
See?
No need to go to office. But Goldman Sachs say if you don't come at the office, we will fire you. Goldman Sachs is finance. Yeah, if you don't come at the office, we will fire you. But Airbnb said, you guys want to work from home for the rest of your life? Sure, no problem.
Yeah. Well, I reckon for work from home, it's very industry dependent.
Yes.
Very industry dependent. So if you're in the financial market, and let's say if you need to meet people, you need to meet clients, or you need to be in on the spot, making spot decision meetings, then working from home is going to be difficult. Poor connection, you miss that split second, and then you miss the bell, you miss the financial point that you want to go in, go out, and make those kind of decisions.
True.
Perhaps that's why.
Yeah. So there are certain jobs that requires you to go back to the office.
But I reckon also there's a lot of jobs that don't have that urgency, but everyone's still back to work.
Yeah, I have a feeling a lot of times it's due to management. Management say that, you know what?
I pay you the salary to sit here.
Yes.
I pay you to sit here. Whether you do work, don't do work, you come here, you sit, you punch in.
My eyes on you.
Yeah,
right?
because
make sure you punch in, punch out properly.
Because when you work from home, I don't know what you do. You always say you're busy.
So there are stories whereby there are companies, right, that when your mouse or your keyboard becomes idle, all right, what they do is they actually detect that the mouse becomes idle for X amount of minutes.
Seriously?
Yes. And then
there's a tracker.
Yes, there's a tracker. And then they log it in as this person is away from their work.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because I remember there was this video, right, showing a guy who wrote a script.
Yes.
To make the mouse move.
Jiggle the mouse, yes.
So the mouse will keep moving, right? Even though he's not doing that. He's away in the toilet, it's still moving.
So what happened was I actually saw on Shopee, which is an e-commerce platform, they actually sell this a mouse shaker. It's a small platform. You connect to a USB. So what it does, right, it has a small vibration. So when you put your mouse on top, right, your mouse cursor jiggles. And it's not that expensive. It's only a few ringgit, you know.
Imagine when the shipment come in, right? And then your partner asks, what you bought? A vibrator.
Yeah. And then there are some companies, and this is one of my relatives' company, whereby yes, you're working from home, but we still want you to dress as if you're going to an office. So you still have to wear suit and a tie
without the pants.
Without the pants lah, those shorts lah. Okay. But you must be seated in front of, and then your laptop camera must be on. The entire time, right? And if you were to step out from your laptop, you need to let your superiors know where you're going, whether you're going to the toilet, whether you're going to go grab lunch and all. So, so this, so I feel that it really depends on management.
Correct.
So if management trusts their employees enough, right, I think working from home is definitely more beneficial.
Yeah. Now that you put it that way, right, it's like as though when, let's say, you do a Zoom and there's 50 of you, it also means your employer has a CCTV with 50 cameras pointed at every of the employees, which they never had before. They can actually physically see you there or not there. Whereas in the office, you could actually run away.
Yeah, in office, you can just disappear. Where did this person go? Oh, he went to the toilet. He went to photocopy. He went to the next floor to take some stuff, you know. Yeah. So, so there are upsides of working from home. Of course, you know, there are also downsides of working from home.
Yeah.
Right.
I think most people don't want to work from home.
Yeah, actually, a lot of people don't want to work from home. I've actually seen people who actually go a little bit nuts working from home because there's no one to talk to.
No one to talk to. And
you eat lunch alone, okay? Eat lunch alone.
And apparently a lot of people cannot do that, you know?
Yes.
A lot of people don't eat lunch alone.
Yes.
I found out during the last 2 years, people said, they get jittery.
Yes.
I cannot eat lunch alone. I'm like, what do you mean cannot eat lunch alone? Just tapao and eat lah.
Yes.
No, cannot. I need someone there with me.
Yeah, you need someone to talk to. You need someone to gossip. You need to catch up on stuff. Yes.
It's like watching a movie. A lot of people cannot watch movies alone. But they can.
I don't know lah. I can. I can eat lunch alone.
Yeah, so like,
no problem.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it's that particular human interaction thing, right? That most people are missing. And also another thing is mentorship. All right. So a lot of times when you want to mentor somebody, it's not as easy to mentor someone over Zoom or over all these virtual conferences. It's much easier to mentor someone whereby the person is side by side. You know, side by side, you can actually show the person and point and stuff like that. So one of the things that I've seen is a lot of new employees when they join a job or a role that they're not certain. All right, unfortunately, the seniors are working from home, so they find it a little bit difficult to actually get into the job. Because number one, they don't see the people they're working with. They've never met them, right? So it's very difficult for them to actually build rapport or relationship with the people there.
It's hard to make friends with office senior.
Yes.
When you don't even know how they look like.
Yes.
How they sound like.
And the only thing you've seen is, you know, their 2D photos.
And most of the time, even if you're on, let's say, the Zoom call, everyone's there.
Yes.
So there's no personal interaction.
That's right.
So you can't actually talk to someone unless you go to a side room kind of thing, which most people wouldn't be doing anyway, to chat and get to know one another. So you're right. Working from home really likes building rapport, especially if you just join a company.
Yes.
If you've been already in the company and now it's work from home for the next 2 years, it's fine because you already know everyone.
Yes, you know your role.
You know while you're there, you're still texting each other and gossiping or whatever. But if you're new, I think that's where the biggest challenge is.
Yes, correct.
I think another factor is that people are trying to run away from their families.
Yes, I think that is very difficult, especially when you have a lot of when you have young
Dependents.
kids. Yeah, when young dependents in the house,
Even
or even
old-
older
ooh,
dependents.
even
Yes.
old ones. They
That's
want
true,
you
that's
there
true.
all the time.
Yes, that's right.
They,
that's right.
because they are used to you doing everything for them or being there for them when you are off work.
Correct.
But when you're at home, regardless if you're working or not, you're at home.
Yes.
So physically, they demand your attention. They demand your help in whatever
That's true.
or assistance.
That's true.
So there's no boundaries between you-
work and home already,
At home,
yeah.
it actually merges
Yeah.
too much. And despite everyone's bright idea of you put this,
No,
it just
yeah.
doesn't
No, it
work.
doesn't
Even
really
if you
work.
lock the door,
Even
someone's
doesn't
gonna
work. It doesn't, if you lock the door, it doesn't work. There'll be knocks.
It'll be worse.
Yeah.
They're not even louder.
Yes, correct. Yeah, I've actually seen people who actually dread working from home because family members are at home. All right, and then they realize that they cannot run away from family members. So going to work is actually more therapeutic for them because they are away from their family for a short period of time or maybe for half a day. So when they come back, of course, distance makes the heart grow fonder. But when you're around one another all the entire time, right, it actually makes you despise that closeness.
Yeah, I don't think it's the distance make the heart grow fonder. I think it's just feel less guilty.
Yeah, true.
Ignoring them.
True,
When you go to office, you ignore them,
you
right?
say, hey, I'm at work.
I'm busy
I got meeting now.
yeah.
Off the phone.
Why never reply for 2 hours in a meeting?
That's true.
But at home, why never reply? 2 minutes already.
That's true.
Cannot.
That's true.
So you run away from the guilt tripping.
Yeah.
The other one that why working from home also doesn't work, lack of boundaries from the employer.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So they make you work 24/7,
Yes.
anytime, every time.
Yep.
Because there's no cutoff point.
Yeah. So one of the excuses that I've heard is, hey, you are no longer needed to commute anymore, right? So take
save-
that time that you're supposed to commute and
Do
get to
more
work early, right? Do more work, and then even after work supposedly is done, you still have to do more work.
Yeah.
Right. And I think one of the main problem with Asian cultures is our work don't actually end at 5. Employers don't actually end the work at 5. A lot of times they actually set their meetings at maybe 5-6 p.m.
Yeah. Again, like I said, a bit of the Asian thing is because, okay, Japan, us, and let's say another hour behind us, Thailand group. Okay, so we work within this 3-hour gap. When we finish work, let's say at 6.
Let's say at 6.
And then let's use Thailand time, so it's 7 p.m.
The Europeans start going to
They're
work.
just starting to work.
The Europeans starting to work.
Yep.
Yeah.
And,
So,
and they're not going to work nights to accommodate to our daytime.
nah.
So we need to accommodate to their time zone,
Yes.
which means meetings will start at 10 p.m.
Yes, correct.
11 p.m., sometimes 1 a.m. I've
Yes.
heard of friends who actually had to attend meetings at 12, 1, 2 a.m.
Yep.
And it's not like as though they're going to get the morning off.
Nope.
They're expected back at work at 9. Latest 10. They'll say, okay, last night you had a meeting. You can report in to Zoom at 10.
Yep.
You're still working.
Correct.
Still working. You're literally doing double shift.
Correct. So you end up spending more time at work, even though you're not physically at work, but you spend more time doing work.
Again, I think it's management.
Yes, it's definitely management.
Still management.
It's definitely management. If management steps in and say, you know what, if after 5 is after 5.
So, but I've seen a lot of companies who actually invested a lot into working from home. For one of my friend works in Intel.
Okay.
So Intel actually gave them a budget.
Oh yes, I've heard of that as well.
So Intel gave them a budget to go get their laptops,
their
chairs,
chairs,
their
yes,
printer,
tables,
their
yes.
microphone, even the headphone, the headset. You can buy whatever brand you want within that budget. So
Yes.
you pandai, you budget yourself within this set amount. It doesn't matter what brand you get; it's all yours to use for your own comfort. So a lot of them has already invested in that. What's going to be of it?
Yeah, they end up wasting. So what I've done with my back-end staffs,
you had a lot of
we
work
had
from home, right?
we had a lot of work from home. But now what I'm doing with my staffs these days is we are doing more of a hybrid session. All right, whereby I require you in to work at 3 times a week.
Okay.
All right, but the other 2 days you can actually work from home. Right. So the other 3 times a week, the reason why I want you to in office is because I want to have one-on-one with you. Right. So I want to have a one-on-one chat with you to catch up on what you have done and what is pending and what and what needs to be done after that. So also we will also do like a town hall meeting whereby we have whereby everyone comes to the office on the same day, so that we can have a general meeting, all right, of what are we going to achieve in the next, let's say, 1 to 2 weeks, right? Nice. And the reason why I prefer that to doing it on virtual is because you have presented on virtual and you've presented in front of people, right? Yes. The energy is just different. The energy is different, and a lot of times, yes, you can present, but one of the thing of being someone who's presenting or someone who's talking is you want to gauge what the audience or what the recipient, right, their body language, their energy and all. So at least you can then adjust your speech accordingly.
Yes,
it's difficult to do.
Yeah, you can't do it virtually. A lot of people don't realize actually when you're up there talking, right, the stress is not about talking.
Yeah,
people like us, we can talk. The stress is actually the recipient.
Yes,
whether they're listening to what you're saying. Pay attention. Yes, and do they have that blur look like that says, boss, I know what you say, but I don't know what you say.
Yes.
I hear you say, but I don't know what you say. So you just can't gauge that over camera.
Yes.
The other thing that I like to do when I'm doing meetings is I need to write. I need to write. I need to pick up that whiteboard marker and I have to go to the whiteboard to jotting something and write something, because somehow it's more visual. It aids to convey the message when you start writing and you have point forms. Because if you just speak, people don't write. Even if they write word for word, like going to school. They are not actually paying attention. And if I use a PowerPoint to present, again, it's very bland for some reason. I don't know why. I
don't like using PowerPoints
I can't stand
to actually present. Yeah. So 3 days a week, come to the office, 2 days a week, work from home. However, I give them the flexibility. If you want to come to office every day, so be it. It's not compulsory to come on a daily basis, because I have staffs who are more extrovert. They one of the main reasons to come to work is to socialize.
Okay.
So when they're at home, they're generally very bored, and they end up being very aimless.
Counterproductive.
Yes, they're counterproductive. So they say that when they're at home, they're not doing work, right? They want to do work, but they are not motivated to do work. So they just sit around doing nothing.
It's like that. It's like, I don't know, doing home exercise and going to the gym to do an exercise. It's different. You need a lot of self-discipline to be able to do 30 minutes of home exercise.
Yes.
It's not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah, I'm sure you've tried.
I've tried doing that. I've seen people who buy treadmills, expensive treadmills, expensive cycling machines.
Become cloth hanger.
Yes. They will use it for the first month. After that, they just
carpet is there. Wash the bed sheet, put the bed sheet there. Then you totally forgot it's even the machine is even there. Yeah. But if you go to the gym,
it's different.
It's easy for you to just jump into the motivation. Yes. You see someone else do it, you also want to do it.
Correct.
You see them do it fast, you also want to do it a bit better than yesterday.
Correct.
So a lot of this physical work has the energy factor that is not accounted for when you work from home.
Correct.
Well, so is working from home going to stay or not?
Or is it going to end? I would say a lot of companies will move towards a more hybrid system, but a lot of companies will also ask their staff to come back to work.
Yeah, I think so.
In
too.
office.
I still think so too.
So they're probably, what most companies will do is probably, you can have like the Friday work from home, but 4 days a week, come back to office. All right. And I'm very certain some companies say, you know what, work from home is dead.
Yeah, dead. Just come back. Just come back. If not, you can find a new job.
If not, you can find a new job.
Yeah, you can stay at home and work yourself. Be self-employed. Be self-employed. Be an entrepreneur at home.
Yeah.
Don't need to come to office.
All right, guys. So let us know whether you think work from home is dead or it's here to stay. Write in the comments below.
Especially if you're working from home, let us know how did your company handle it.
Yes.
And do you still enjoy working from home, or do you miss the interaction with everyone? So we'll be back again next week. Stay tuned to us on the Two Dogs podcast. I'm Dr. Ali signing off.
And I'm Dr. Ingky. Have a good
weekend.